Hello, all you beautiful people. This is Intentional Healing, and I am Nicole Bridger. So, today I want to talk to you about using social media in a healthy way. Is that even possible? Here we are connecting over social media, so it's got to be possible, right? But before we begin, just take a deep breath, allowing ourselves to just be here. Anything calling your attention out there in your life, know that it'll still be there when we're done. So, for myself, I know when I have when I observe my passive use of social media, it's always very telling to me of how I'm doing. If I'm stressed or lonely, then I often go on there a little bit more than usual as a kind of a way to feel connected if I'm lonely or distracted if I'm stressed out. It kind of allows me to numb out for a little bit. Sometimes we use it as a way to sort of keep tabs on somebody. Or even to make ourselves feel better. More important, using it as as a tool to sort of inflate ourselves temporarily, not for real. And sometimes we even use it as a way to hurt ourselves, to make ourselves not feel good. So like anything, whether it's exercise or food or work, it is possible, if you're coming from that broken place, to have a hurtful relationship with it. And really looking at it as an opportunity, as a window inwards, to uncover a place that maybe requires a little bit of awareness, a little bit of healing, so that you can use social media in a way that's coming from your true place, from your whole pure place, and then thus having a healthy relationship with it. So the thing to ask yourself really is, am I doing this from a place of fear, anger, jealousy, inadequacy? Or am I doing this, using this, from a place of just being, of love, of honest sharing? And the fun thing about when we look at how we're using social media at any given time, because I know for myself it shifts, it changes depending on how I'm doing. Really looking at it as a window in, just an area in us that just needs some attention. So what I thought is I would break this kind of into two topics, because there's using social media as the viewer, the watcher, and then there's using social media as the sharer, the poster. And they kind of touch into different issues, if you will. So, coming from the perspective of the viewer, and I want you to notice right now your own habits in this moment, just lately, but as always with that sense of curiosity, not with that sense of judgment. This is a safe place here, and remember that the only way to heal something is to bring the awareness there first. As soon as you judge it and make it wrong, you shut down any opportunity for healing. So as you start to look at this part of yourself, do so just by noticing and bringing a sense of curiosity. Do I scroll mindlessly more than usual sometimes, like I mentioned earlier? And then asking yourself, well, what is it that I'm feeling right now that is uncomfortable, that I don't want to feel, and why? This is about slowing down, and instead of just allowing those broken feelings to dictate your actions in your day mindlessly, this is about slowing down and bringing that awareness in so that you can bring that healing and be more of your true self more of the time, even with something like social media. Ask yourself, how are you feeling when you're scrolling? Are you feeling really bad about yourself? Why do you feel the need to punish yourself? Is it perhaps time to unfollow or hide people that post things that are making you, that are triggering you? Whatever that looks like. Asking yourself, oh, why do I feel the need to suffer through that, or to trigger myself? Am I feeling not good enough? And we have a habit of punishing ourselves almost as a way to say, like, see, I knew you weren't good enough. Look at how good all these other people are. And it is our subconscious talking. It's that fear side of us that really is just screaming for a bit of love. Are you feeling resentment, jealousy? Or maybe you've been watching somebody because your gut is telling you that you can't trust them, and that you're looking for some kind of validation to your gut feeling, and those uncomfortable feelings sometimes are asking us to shift relationships, relationships that are no longer serving us, calling us to trust our gut more often. When you lean in, you notice how you're viewing, how you are feeling when you are viewing. When you lean in with that sense of curiosity, you're able to bring an awareness to what you're feeling. And that's the window into a little step deeper to an area in you that maybe needs a little bit of love and healing. And now shifting our focus to when you are the sharer or the poster, the one posting. I know when I'm in my head and I'm working on something in my life that's personal and I haven't quite gotten on the other side of it, I tend to hermit, to turn inwards, and to not want to expose myself until I feel like I've figured it out. So I notice that I share a lot less on my accounts when I'm hermiting or going through something. Or the very opposite. Are you really needing to be seen? Are you needing validation? Are you needing external validation to feel more important? Are you posting with that energy behind it, where you're saying, see me, do you see me now? Is there someone specific that you're hoping to see you? It's with that kind of energy behind it that your post is not true. It's not authentic. I mean, that word is a little bit overused right now, but what I think of is like clean or pure energy, where it's just really honest. It's not sharing with a kind of expectation around it, or using it as a kind of manipulation tool, if you will. Again, this requires some pretty intense honesty with yourself to go, well, what is the energy behind my posting? What is the intention behind my posting? And for those of us that use social media as a business tool, it can be really easy to say, well, I have to post 3 times a day at these times, and I really call you to question some of those beliefs too. And what would it look like if you could only share when it's coming from that clean, pure place? And imagine if everybody on social media was only sharing from that clean, pure, honest place, without that manipulation or expectation behind it. So again, as you're starting to look at yourself and uncover some of those habitual ways that you are using social media, stay curious. Keep saying, oh, that's interesting. I wonder what that's about. It releases the hold on it, and just remember that that's just that part of you. It's not all of you. It's just that part of you that's perhaps afraid of being insignificant, afraid of being seen. That voice is going to be really specific to you if you allow yourself to listen to it. And as you uncover that, don't be hard on yourself. Don't make it wrong. Because in order to shift to using social media in a healthy way, you first need to see where you're at and allow yourself to be honest. And you will flip-flop. There will be moments where you're just not wanting to deal with life, and so you're mindlessly scrolling. And just notice it. And go, okay, I'm going to allow myself to mindlessly scroll right now, though I'm aware of it, so now it's not mindlessly. And I know that I will, in time, feel better again. And allow yourself to open that window in. And the more that you notice with that sense of curiosity, loving that part of you that's afraid or broken, and allowing love and healing to come into that part of you, the more often that you notice, the easier it will be to shift, so that eventually you get to a place where you have chosen to only share, only post when you know that it's from a place of honesty and truth. And that muscle will get easier the more you practice it, like any muscle that you are building. So I hope that's a little bit helpful for you. as I feel many of us are not wanting an unhealthy relationship with social media, and still wanting to use it because it can be a beautiful tool. I love that we live abroad and I'm able to stay in touch with the ones that I love. It's an incredible tool for getting messages out into the world. It's an incredible place to connect with like-minded people. So if you are able to come to that place of honesty and purity, it's a fantastic medium for connecting. And I think it's a really exciting time that we're in right now, where we can share with one another, with humanity in such an easy way. And for those of you with kids, I'm a mom too, and I know we often really worry about how much our kids are using. We go into fear mode, we want to control it, restrict it, and just remember that this is an opportunity for learning. This is an opportunity for going inward, for self-discovery. And the best way to teach your children is to share your own learnings. Gosh, I notice that when I'm really stressed out, I dive in there and I'm just avoiding feelings that I don't want to feel, and opening the dialogue. Our kids are really smart, and they don't need us to control them. They need a space for safe conversation and discovery, and for sharing our own humanness and learnings. So there may, as you build this kind of healthy relationship with your social media outlets, there may be a part of you that wants to teach everybody and show everybody how to do it. And just remember, the best way to share that is by just living in your truth, living in your light, and being that beautiful example, not the preacher. I know it's hard. So I hope that's helpful for you guys a little bit. It's an interesting conversation, one that can definitely be continued. Let me know how that goes for you, and please feel free to reach out anytime you guys have specific questions or there's certain topics that you want me to dive into. I would love to hear from you. Thank you so much. Have a blessed day. Bye.